What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is November the 20th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data, we just had non-farm payroll as well as unemployment. So unemployment was a little bit higher than the forecast. So it came in at 4.4 versus the forecast of 4.3. In reality, that's kind of what the market does generally want, but aside from that, we did have non-farm payroll that came in at 119,000 versus a forecast of 50. So that is extremely positive. So that, in my opinion, might offset even the negativity of the unemployment. Nonetheless, though, the market is very, very hyped up because of NVIDIA's earnings. So that's one thing that's really just pushing the market. And in all fairness, it might be unpopular opinion, but they 1,000,000% saved the market, because yesterday we did have applications and mortgage market index coming in very horrible. So we kind of had that mentality of consumers cracking, and then we did have FOMC minutes, which really signaled that the Feds have absolutely no clue what they are doing. So I think, yeah, NVIDIA really did save the broader market. And so we're seeing everything really hyped up right now. So Dow is up 0.87, S&P up 1.53, NASDAQ up 2.05. And you can kind of see as well a nice spike up. That is because of this data that did come out. Like I said, even though unemployment did come in a little bit hotter than the forecast, non-farm payroll was on point. Aside from all that fun stuff, we're still in theory under the extreme fear category. Most likely over the next couple of trading days, that should really rebalance back to the fear. But in theory, people's appetite for risk isn't really on the table right now, in theory. But definitely a lot of the stocks I'm going to be talking on is completely does not make sense. But we've seen this kind of broken in a while, and plus the fear and greed index is very slow to react. But nonetheless, SOFI is up 3.89%. No news from them. They're just merely piggybacking off the broader market. Shorts are returning about 2,000 shares, 3,000 shares. 9.42% of the free float is being shorted. Works to be 111.6 million shares overall are being shorted. Key points to watch for today, with it at 27.65. It is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 29.03 and then 26.08 is going to be the next strong support and resistance points. In my opinion, I don't really see either of them being touched, but this is the one-day chart, so these are very strong support and resistance points. Moving over to the 1 minute, so for those of you that are day traders, swing traders, 27.61, 27.12, 26.81 is going to be support levels. So just kind of watch for SOFI to hold that. Moving on, NIO is up slightly, just merely piggybacking off the market. There really hasn't been that much in news. I actually did a dedicated NIO video yesterday, which I did forget to bring up about their chip news and update. So I wanted to kind of bring that up as well during today's video. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But I think NIO, given what has really happened over the last 1 month, which is down 16.59%, despite a lot of the good updates that have been coming out, I think that this is a steal of a deal if you ask me. But shorts right now are increasing 211,000 shares. 11.73% of the free float is being shorted. Works to be 162.4 million shares overall being shorted. Right now with that 580, trading between this S1 and this S2, so 570 is going to be a strong support. 597 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. Moving on, ticker is PBM. So this is one thing I don't really understand about biotechs, because right now it's down about 22%. But the news that did come out, in my opinion, sounds relatively positive. So this is what came out early this morning at 7 a.m. So it kind of shows more of a major breakthrough. It did initially cause a nice spike, but that was rather short-lived, and then things started to really fade. So over the last 1 year, down 91.1%. So I don't know, maybe if people are just taking advantage of this spike just to exit. that usually does happen. So let me know your viewpoint on this one. But when it comes down to shorts, 14.87% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 85,000 shares. This is in reality what the market loves to kind of shout squeeze on, because it's heavily shorted and very low float. So meets that criteria. With it right now at 220, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. So 212 and then 267 is going to be the next round target / resistance points. And then as you can kind of see right here, you did have that crazy spike up to about 365. So this one could be a good kind of day trade opportunity. And it might be like a sleeper type of stock where it's waiting for the market to truly open before it actually moves higher. NVIDIA is up 4.92% because of their earnings, so home run earnings. And I was somewhat cautious. I knew that they were going to do fairly well, but I didn't know if, let's say, the market was going to take them down in the same nature that they did with Palantir and Robinhood, because under the quantitative data, under for Seeking Alpha, valuation is a F. So it does have a fairly high multiple from that standpoint. So I was somewhat worried that NVIDIA was going to go down because Wall Street just didn't like the multiple. But it looks as though that the market just was tired of going down and it wants to move higher. So I'm not complaining, but NVIDIA definitely is getting a lot of volume. So that's always a good thing. Shorts are returning about 3,000 shares. 1.05% of the free floats being shorted works to be 245.19 million shares overall being shorted. With it right now at 195, trading between this pivot and this S1. So 197 is going to be that key point to watch for today, for it to ideally get above. But yeah, things are definitely on a good path for it to continue to move higher. And then last but not least, ticker is EXAS. So it is up 18.36%. And the reason why is because of this news right here. It's another biotech. This one, again, sounds positive, and it's actually moving in accordance with that. So this is why I just don't really understand biotech sometimes. But 4.36% of the free float is being shorted. Works to be 8.18 million shares. Right now with that 101, it is above all the key fib levels. So 98.16 is ultimately that next strong support. And then 116, looking at the Woody, is going to be the next strong kind of target. So just watch for that. Based on the price action yesterday and today, you can make some pretty good money day trading this. So definitely add these to your watch list. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon. If you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.